Public,
Yes, it's on the website.
it's on the website,
If you
plus,
go to county offices and go under auditor, and it'll have his voting budget on the website, and you may print it off or read it, whatever you'd like to do.
plus the last year's budget, because I would like to compare what you are doing to the budget, how you are increasing different.
Last year's
please.
was still on there this morning. I'm sure it probably still is.
Okay.
Ms. Nichols, is last year's
Thank
still on
you.
there?
I don't know if it is, but if not, they're all on public record in the county clerk's office.
Okay, and I would also like to say that I agree with John Bodkin, everything he said. We cannot afford new taxes in this county. We are being taxed constantly, and we have to stop somewhere, and we say enough. That's enough tax increases.
Anyway. Yes, sir, Mr. Gold.
Bob Goldstein, contemplate the golden goose. If enough people are taxed enough in this county, you're no longer going to have those people to tax. They're going to be gone. Part of the reason is because they are not going to be able to afford to pay the taxes. And if you are in a property tax collection business, you're going to have a good business. So are the banks. Overtaxation has always, in the history, eliminated the people. It's raised their ire and created a great deal of problems. And the only thing I can say to everybody in the county is conservatism now is probably the wisest thing that can happen.
Anyone else? I just want to make a few comments, and I'm not going to make it on behalf of Commissioners Court. I will make it a personal opinion, because they do have their own opinions and they do vote their own convictions. I am very conservative and very frugal. We allowed the departments to adjust their working capital to any line that they wanted, as long as they did not increase their bottom line from last year. Salaries are frozen, and also hiring is frozen. The monies that we will generate from this industrial production that is available to us through, most of it through Grant FICO and our National Oil, is product that's being stored there. As you say, costs have gone up. Cost of everything that we use has gone up. We have taken these monies to try and cover those costs. Appointed attorneys, for instance, indigent health care, insurance. Pardon?
Autopsies.
Yes, autopsies, even something as simple as autopsies. It was $1,700 last year, it's $2,300 this year. These costs are costs that we cannot ignore. They're dictated to us by law, and we have to cover it. If our budgets for our department heads are not increasing, and we take this money and we apply it to where we have to cover the expense. When if you go to court, and heaven forbid that any of you have been there, and they say you will need an attorney, and then their next sentence is, if you cannot afford one, one will be appointed for you. Dictated by law. These are not things that we are not taking into consideration when we do this budget. There is, and if you find frivolous spending, please call me, because I would love to address that. Ms. Nichols and her staff and I have gone over this budget thoroughly to make sure that we are accounting for every dime. I hate it, but by law, we could only go down 1 cent. And if you read this, in the savings, that you would save would be $11.49. It's not the ad valorem tax that we are basically operating on. Hopefully your appraisal didn't go up, and therefore your tax would be the same. I am also, as everyone here, a taxpayer, I understand. I have a little disadvantage in the fact I live closer to the expansion of Navasota, and so therefore the people are buying and my taxes are going up quickly. We are not insensitive, I'll assure you. And I will anticipate joyfully anybody that will come to my office and let me go over this budget with you. Do the comparison. I did, I have. I have not found any expenditures that were not necessary. The road and bridge projects we had to cut. We had put a lot of money in there last year, hopefully, to improve the road situation. Well, we've had to cut it in half because we didn't get the money we got last year. I hate that, and I am working on road and bridge projects. It is a commitment of this court to try and improve our infrastructure. But we can only do it with the monies that we have to operate on, and I had to reduce that. I apologize for that. But any questions that you want to address to me personally, be sure and come to my office. I will be there. I dedicate a whole budget time to trying to make sure that we have a budget that is acceptable to the people. Because yes, you are who we represent, and we do take that seriously. But if you'd like to ask any of the commissioners their opinion, I want you to do it this time, because this, like I say, I'm speaking as Betty Shiflin and not as a court. I think we spoke as a court when we established the 54, but you might want to question them individually, and I think they would love to field any questions that you have.
I would like to ask Commissioner Pam Finke, what is your opinion on this tax increase?
Well, you know, I was the one that made the motion for the 54,282, because if we do lower it down to the 53, it's $11. We've got critical infrastructure that we're losing if we don't do something right away. Of the 574 miles of road we have, we're trying to get that above standard. Infrastructure and health and safety are the first things. Fuel costs over the last 2 months have actually started to decrease, which is a good thing. But it could shoot back up right after. I haven't seen ours go up. Mr. Bertling says his has gone back up. So I think we're trying to be very, very conservative, but we've got to get this road situation back up, and that's why I made the motion for the 54,282.
Also, how
in
is
our area? Yes, precinct 4 is growing. We're seeing some changes, and the reason I say it's growing is for instance, our 100-acre properties are being cut into 15 to 20-acre properties. Well, that's causing our values to change in precinct 4. Hopefully, you know, when they build a homestead on it, we'll be able to start lowering things. But we do have some other industrial projects that are coming on board that will be completed. Elwood, which was formerly Interstate, they're fixing to finish their expansion. HTRI, which is a new company, within the last 5 years, they're fixing to finish their second phase. They still have phases 3, 4, and 5 to do. If we can get this industrial stuff on board, then I know we'll be able to start. But I was also on the court when we were able to lower the tax rate, and then the next year we had to turn around and increase it back because we couldn't even cover the budget then.
My next question is, how are all of these evaluations that are going higher and the tax increase affecting business